Good evening and welcome to Dreamy Academy. Tonight we drift into the quiet, intricate world that exists just beneath the surface of our awareness, a realm of silent whispers and profound influences that shape every moment of our lives. As we begin, I'd love to know where you're watching from, your city, your country, perhaps even what the night sky looks like outside your window. If you enjoy these peaceful explorations of science, please take a moment to like the video and subscribe. It truly helps this little corner of quiet curiosity grow. To those already subscribed, thank you sincerely for being part of this slow and thoughtful adventure. Tonight, we embark on a journey into the hidden architecture of being, a universe of chemical messages that hums perpetually within you. Imagine, if you will, that your body is not merely a collection of organs and tissues, but a vast, silent symphony where countless tiny messengers are constantly moving, communicating and orchestrating the very essence of who you are. These aren't electrical signals that flash with the speed of thought, nor are they the broad currents of blood that nourish every cell. Instead, they are molecules, so small they are invisible to the keenest eye, yet so potent that a mere whisper of their presence can transform a state of calm into a rush of adrenaline, or awaken the deep, patient rhythm of growth from the quiet of sleep. This is the world of endocrinology, the study of hormones. It is a science that reveals the most intimate universal, how the ancient language of chemistry, perfected over billions of years of life on Earth, continues to speak within us, shaping our moods, our hunger, our sleep, our very capacity to love and fear. It is a story not of grand, visible actions, but of subtle molecular nudges that ripple through every cell, every tissue, every system. To contemplate this hidden dance is to discover a profound beauty in the precision of life, a quiet awe in the realization that we are, at our deepest level, a tapestry woven from chemical conversations. It is a subject worthy of these quiet hours, rewarding patient contemplation with a deeper understanding of the silent forces that make us whole. Consider for a moment the profound stillness of deep night, the way the world outside settles into a hushed calm, yet within you, a ceaseless, intricate conversation is unfolding. It is a dialogue conducted not with words, but with molecules, a secret language that orchestrates every beat of your heart, every thought that drifts through your mind, every subtle shift in your mood. These are the hormones, the silent architects of being, working tirelessly, patiently, shaping the very fabric of your existence. What are these hormones really? They are, at their most fundamental, chemical messengers. Imagine a vast, sprawling city, your body, with countless specialized districts, each performing a unique function. How do these districts communicate? How does the central command know what supplies are needed in the furthest reaches, or when a particular process needs to slow down or speed up? This is where hormones come in. They are the body's internal postal service, carrying specific instructions from one part of the body to another, often across vast cellular distances, to elicit a precise response. They are produced by specialized organs called glands, which, unlike glands that release substances outside the body like sweat or saliva, release their secretions directly into the bloodstream. This is why they are called endocrine glands, from the Greek endo, meaning within, and krinein, meaning to secrete. They secrete within. This concept of internal chemical messaging is not unique to complex organisms like us. It is a principle as ancient as life itself. Even single-celled organisms billions of years ago communicated with each other and sensed their environment using chemical signals. Over eons, As life became more complex, these simple chemical whispers evolved into the sophisticated, multi-layered endocrine system we possess today. It is a testament to the power and elegance of chemical communication, a testament to evolution's patient artistry. Each hormone, a tiny molecule, carries a specific shape, a molecular key designed to fit into a particular lock on a target cell. This lock, a receptor protein, waits patiently on the cell surface or within its interior, ready to receive its designated message. Without this precise fit, the message remains unread, the instruction unheeded. This elegant system, this intricate dance of keys and locks, allows a single molecule, present in infinitesimal concentrations, to trigger cascades of change throughout the body. Think of it, a mere picogram, a trillionth of a gram of certain hormones can have profound effects. This is a scale that defies easy comprehension. If you were to take a single grain of sand and divide it into 1 billion pieces, one of those pieces might begin to approach the weight of a picogram. Yet, such a minute quantity can stir the very currents of your being, influencing everything from the rate of your metabolism to the depth of your emotions. Let us delve a little deeper into this remarkable internal communication. The endocrine system works in concert with the nervous system, creating a seamless web of control that governs virtually every physiological process. While the nervous system often delivers its messages with lightning speed, using electrical impulses to achieve rapid localized effects, the endocrine system operates with a more measured, patient pace. Its messages, carried by the slow currents of the blood, can reach almost every cell in the body, initiating broader, longer-lasting changes. It's like the difference between a quick, urgent text message and a carefully composed letter sent through the mail. Both convey information, but their reach, speed, and duration of effect are fundamentally different. The beauty of this system lies in its intricate feedback loops. It's not a one-way street of command and obey. Instead, it's a constant dynamic negotiation. When a hormone is released, it travels to its target cells, prompting a response. But often, that very response will, in turn, signal back to the original gland, telling it to either release more hormone or to cease production. This is like a thermostat in your home. When the temperature drops, the heater turns on. Once the desired temperature is reached, the heater turns off. This delicate balance, this constant adjustment, ensures that the body's internal environment, its homeostasis, remains stable and optimal, even as the external world and your internal needs constantly shift. Imagine the sheer volume of information being exchanged. At any given moment, hundreds of different hormones are circulating through your bloodstream, each carrying its unique message, each seeking its specific receptor. There are hormones that regulate your blood sugar, ensuring your cells have a steady supply of energy. There are hormones that dictate your growth and development, guiding the transformation from a single cell into a complex organism. Hormones that govern your stress response, preparing you to face challenges or retreat to safety. Hormones that shape your reproductive cycles, allowing for the continuation of life itself. And, profoundly, hormones that influence your thoughts, your feelings, your memories, the very nuances of your consciousness. The elegance of this system is that it achieves incredible specificity with remarkable economy. A single hormone molecule can bind to its receptor, initiating a cascade of intracellular events that amplify the original signal many thousands of times. It's like a tiny ripple expanding into a powerful wave. This means that even a minuscule amount of a hormone can provoke a profound physiological change. This is why disruptions in the endocrine system, even subtle ones, can have such far-reaching consequences for health and well-being. The system is designed for precision, for delicate balance. When that balance is disturbed, the symphony can become discordant. This intricate dance, this molecular conversation, is happening right now within you, without your conscious effort or command. It is a testament to the deep ancient wisdom embedded within your very cells. It reminds us that we are not merely individuals, but complex ecosystems, teeming with unseen activity, orchestrated by forces that are both profoundly physical and deeply mysterious. There is a particular comfort in understanding that even in the quietest moments, your internal landscape is alive with purpose, a testament to billions of years of refinement. So we have begun to glimpse the silent world of chemical messengers, understanding that hormones are the body's profound internal communication system, operating with precision, elegance, and an ancient wisdom. But how did such a complex system arise? How did these specific molecules come to carry their specific messages, and how do they interact with the even more rapid communication network of the nervous system? How do these two great systems, the slow and the fast, weave together to create the seamless experience of being alive? That question leads us to consider the very origins of these messages and how they first came to coordinate life itself, a story that begins long before the first nervous system ever evolved. As the night deepens and the soft glow of our dreamy academy seems to deepen with it, we find ourselves lingering on those profound questions that shimmer at the edges of our understanding. How did such an intricately woven tapestry of chemical messages first come into being? How did a specific molecule, seemingly simple in its structure, come to carry a message so precise, so potent, that it could orchestrate a fundamental shift within your very cells? And how do these two great rivers of communication within us, the swift electrical currents of the nervous system and the slower, more pervasive tides of the endocrine system, weave together to create the seamless, miraculous experience of being alive? Let us drift back then, not just to the origins of the human form, but to the very dawn of life itself. Imagine with us a world far, far removed from the complex beings we are today. Picture the primordial oceans, swirling with the nascent ingredients of life, where the first single-celled organisms began their solitary existence. Even in this ancient, seemingly simple world, the need for communication was paramount. Before there were brains to think or glands to secrete, there was the fundamental imperative to perceive and respond. How did these earliest forms of life communicate? Not with words, not with electrical impulses, but with the most basic yet most profound language of all, chemistry. These tiny self-contained universes, floating in the vastness, would release simple molecules into their environment. Perhaps a certain amino acid signaled the presence of nutrients nearby, drawing others towards a shared bounty. Or a particular peptide might have warned of a toxin, prompting a graceful retreat. These were the very first chemical whispers, the rudimentary calls and responses in the grand unfolding drama of life. Think of it as the original cellular form of social networking, long before any notion of a network existed. Each cell, a tiny independent entity, was nevertheless part of a larger unseen community, connected by these molecular signals. These early chemical messengers were the silent architects of cooperation, the first gentle nudges towards collective survival. They didn't travel far, their reach was limited to the immediate vicinity, like a quiet murmur heard only by those closest by. But in that proximity, a profound truth was established. Life communicates through chemistry. As eons unfolded, and life began its slow, majestic climb towards greater complexity, these simple chemical signals began to evolve. The single-celled organisms gave way to colonies, then to multicellular beings, where cells started to specialize, taking on distinct roles within the burgeoning organism. With specialization came a new challenge: how to coordinate the actions of millions, then billions, of diverse cells, each performing its unique function, yet all working in exquisite harmony. This is where the specificity of our chemical messages truly began to blossom. What was once a general chemical cue, perhaps understood by many types of cells, slowly refined itself. Imagine a simple universal key that could open many doors. As the houses, the cells, became more varied, each with its own specific needs and functions, so too did the keys. Certain molecules, through countless iterations of natural selection, became perfectly shaped to fit only certain locks, the receptor proteins we spoke of in our previous quiet moment. This co-evolution of messenger and receptor is a story of incredible precision, a dance perfected over billions of years. A molecule that once served a broad purpose might, through subtle changes in its structure, become a highly specialized signal capable of triggering a precise cascade of events in only one particular type of cell. It's as if the ancient language of chemistry, initially composed of a few general sounds, began to develop a rich and intricate vocabulary, each word carrying a distinct and unambiguous meaning. This allowed for the nuanced control that complex life demands, a signal for growth here, a signal for energy metabolism there, a signal for defense somewhere else. Each message, a tiny ripple expanding into a powerful directed wave. With the increasing size and complexity of organisms, local diffusion of these chemical whispers became insufficient. A signal released by one cell might take too long to reach another distant cell, or its concentration might diminish too rapidly to be effective. Life, ever ingenious, found a solution: to centralize the production of these messages and to create a dedicated system for their swift, body-wide distribution. And so the endocrine glands began to emerge. These glands, initially perhaps just clusters of specialized cells, became the sophisticated post offices of the internal world. Instead of each cell individually shouting its message into the void, certain cells became masters of synthesis, producing large quantities of specific hormones and releasing them not just into the immediate extracellular fluid, but directly into the bloodstream. The circulatory system, with its network of flowing rivers, provided the perfect highway for these tiny messengers to travel across vast internal distances, reaching every corner of the body with their vital instructions. Consider the elegance of this design. A gland, nestled in a specific location, acts as a factory, endlessly producing and dispatching its unique chemical communique. These hormones then embark on a journey, carried by the silent currents of the blood, until they encounter their designated target cells, where their molecular keys find their perfect locks. This was a monumental leap in biological organization, allowing for systemic coordination, synchronizing the myriad activities that sustain a complex organism, from the rhythmic beat of the heart to the silent repair of tissues. And now we arrive at perhaps the most captivating question: how do these two seemingly distinct systems, the lightning-fast nervous system and the steadily flowing endocrine system, collaborate to create the seamless, conscious experience of being you? It might seem at first glance that they are two separate entities, one firing electrical sparks, the other releasing chemical tides. But the truth, as is often the case in the intricate architecture of life, is far more interwoven, far more profound. Imagine them not as separate entities, but as two inseparable partners in a cosmic dance, each leading and following, each influencing and being influenced by the other. The nervous system, with its rapid, precise electrical signals, acts like the immediate conductor of an orchestra, giving specific cues to individual musicians, demanding instant responses. It handles the split-second decisions, the rapid reflexes, the immediate processing of sensory information. When you touch something hot, it's your nervous system that yelps in protest and pulls your hand away, almost before you're consciously aware of the heat. The endocrine system, by contrast, is like the stage manager and the lighting designer, setting the overall mood, influencing the long-term atmosphere, and orchestrating the deeper, more sustained processes. It ensures the stage is properly lit, the props are in place, and the general ambience is conducive to the play unfolding. It's responsible for the slower, more pervasive and longer-lasting effects: growth, metabolism, stress adaptation, reproduction, and the subtle shifts in mood and energy that define our days and nights. But here is where the magic truly unfolds. These two systems are not merely parallel, they are deeply, intimately integrated. Many of the molecules we think of as neurotransmitters, the chemical messengers of the nervous system, are also found acting as hormones in other parts of the body. Dopamine, for instance, a crucial neurotransmitter in the brain, is also produced by the adrenal glands and can act as a hormone. Serotonin, another familiar name from the nervous system, has widespread hormonal effects throughout the body, particularly in the gut. This blurring of lines hints at their shared ancient ancestry, suggesting a common chemical language that simply evolved to be used in different contexts. Perhaps the most compelling example of this exquisite integration lies in the neuroendocrine cells, those remarkable cellular bridges that stand at the crossroads of these two great communication highways. Take, for instance, the hypothalamus, a tiny but immensely powerful region deep within your brain. It is fundamentally nervous tissue receiving a constant stream of information about your internal and external environment. But crucially, it also contains specialized neurons that, instead of releasing neurotransmitters onto other neurons, release powerful hormones directly into the bloodstream, particularly into a special portal system that carries them directly to the pituitary gland. The pituitary, in turn, is often called the master gland, precisely because it responds to these hypothalamic signals by releasing its own cascade of hormones, which then travel to other endocrine glands throughout the body, dictating their activity. This hypothalamus-pituitary axis is the ultimate conductor of the endocrine symphony, directly controlled by the nervous system's interpretation of your world. When you experience stress, for example, your nervous system registers the threat, and the hypothalamus responds by initiating a hormonal cascade that prepares your entire body for fight or flight, a classic example of neuroendocrine integration. It is in this constant dynamic interplay that the seamless experience of being alive truly emerges. Your thoughts, your emotions, your memories, your very sense of self, all are products of this ceaseless, silent conversation between electrical impulses and chemical whispers. The rapid surge of adrenaline that sharpens your focus in a moment of danger is a neuroendocrine response. The slow, comforting release of oxytocin that fosters bonding and trust is another. The consistent regulation of your blood sugar, the rhythm of your sleep, the processes of growth and repair, the profound journey of reproduction, each is a testament to the collaborative genius of these systems. They are constantly adjusting, constantly communicating, creating a rich, multi-layered tapestry of information that ensures your internal world remains in a state of delicate balance, a state of homeostasis. The nervous system provides the immediate reaction, the sharp correction, the swift perception. The endocrine system provides the sustained influence, the foundational support, the long-term adaptation. Together they orchestrate the magnificent complexity that allows you to think, to feel, to move, to dream. As we continue to journey through this quiet night, let us carry with us this profound understanding that beneath the surface of your awareness, an ancient and wise conversation is perpetually unfolding. It is a conversation born in the primordial soup, refined over billions of years, and culminating in the intricate, beautiful being that you are. It is the language of life itself, spoken in chemicals, understood by every cell, and experienced as the very essence of your existence. Let these thoughts gently settle within you, inviting a deeper sense of wonder and perhaps a deeper peace as we prepare to explore more specific chapters of this silent, eternal story. Welcome back, dear seeker, to the tranquil halls of the Dreamy Academy. We continue our quiet journey into the hidden architecture of being, exploring the profound wisdom woven into the very fabric of our existence. Last time we spoke of the endocrine system as an ancient, ceaseless conversation, a silent dialogue between electrical impulses and chemical whispers that orchestrates the seamless experience of being alive. But how precisely does this conversation unfold? How do these eloquent chemical messages, these tiny ripples in the vast ocean of your bloodstream, translate into the intricate actions and profound transformations within your cells, within your very being? Tonight, we turn our gaze to the art of listening, for a message, however profound, is meaningless without a receptive ear. And within the intricate world of your body, these receptive ears are known as receptors. Imagine, if you will, that each cell in your body is a miniature, exquisitely designed palace. Within its walls, countless processes hum along, a ceaseless tapestry of life. And upon the surface, or nestled deep within its chambers, are thousands upon thousands of tiny specialized antennae, the receptors. These are not merely passive structures, they are molecular sentinels, poised and waiting, each designed to recognize and bind with a specific chemical messenger, a particular hormone. This is where the elegant metaphor of the molecular key and lock truly comes to life. Each hormone, a uniquely shaped key, floats through the bloodstream, seeking its precise complementary lock. Only when the correct key finds its specific lock does a door open or a mechanism engage, initiating a cascade of events within the cell. This inherent specificity is breathtaking, ensuring that a hormone intended to regulate your metabolism doesn't accidentally trigger a growth spurt, or that a stress hormone doesn't mistakenly calm your nerves. It is precision at its most fundamental, a testament to eons of evolutionary refinement. We observe two primary pathways by which these chemical whispers are heard and acted upon, two distinct methods of cellular interpretation, each perfectly suited to the nature of its messenger. First, consider the surface receptors. These are often the listening posts for hormones that are hydrophilic, water-loving, meaning they dissolve easily in blood but cannot easily pass through the fatty, lipid-richer membrane that encases every cell. Hormones like peptides, long chains of amino acids, such as insulin or growth hormone, and catecholamines like adrenaline, fall into this category. They are the messengers that knock gently on the outer door. When a peptide hormone, for instance, arrives at its target cell, it doesn't enter. Instead, it binds to a specific receptor protein embedded in the cell's outer membrane, much like a hand pressing a doorbell. This binding event, though seemingly simple, triggers a profound change within the receptor itself. It's a subtle shift in shape, a conformational dance that propagates inward across the membrane and into the cell's interior. This internal signal then activates a series of relay proteins, often referred to as second messengers. The hormone itself is the first messenger, the initial signal, but because it cannot enter the cell, it needs an internal translator, a molecular domino effect to carry its message deep within. Think of it as a secret knock at the door, which then prompts a servant inside to relay the message to the master. One of the most well-known of these second messengers is cyclic AMP or CAMP. When a hormone binds to its surface receptor, it can activate an enzyme called adenylyl cyclase, which then converts ATP, the cell's energy currency, into CAMP. This newly formed CAMP then becomes a potent internal signal activating other enzymes, often protein kinases, which in turn phosphorylate, add a phosphate group to other proteins. This phosphorylation can either activate or deactivate these proteins, leading to a myriad of cellular responses, perhaps altering enzyme activity, regulating gene expression, or changing the cell's permeability. This is a beautiful example of the signal amplification. A single hormone molecule binding to a single receptor can activate many adenylyl cyclase molecules, each of which can produce many CAMP molecules. Each CAMP molecule can then activate many protein kinases, and so on. A tiny ripple at the cell surface expands into a powerful wave of cellular activity, a dramatic and efficient way to elicit a robust response from a minimal external signal. It is the exquisite precision of a single whisper, magnified into a chorus of action. But not all hormones speak this way. Some messengers are adept at slipping sulkily through the cell's outer defenses. These are the intracellular receptors, the deep architects of change. This pathway is typically employed by steroid hormones like cortisol, estrogen, testosterone, and thyroid hormones, T3 and T4. These hormones are lipophilic, fat-loving, allowing them to dissolve directly through the lipid bilayer of the cell membrane, entering the cell unannounced, without needing an external doorbell. Once inside, these hormones don't stop at the cytoplasm. They journey deeper, often binding to specific receptor proteins located either in the cytoplasm or directly within the nucleus of the cell. Here, the key and lock analogy takes on a more intimate meaning. The hormone, now united with its receptor, forms a hormone-receptor complex. This complex is not just a passive entity, it is an active agent, a molecular diplomat ready to engage with the cell's most sacred archive, its DNA. The hormone receptor complex then travels to the nucleus, where it binds to specific regions of the DNA known as hormone response elements, HREs. Imagine these HREs as specific paragraphs in the vast instruction manual of your genome. When the hormone receptor complex binds to its HRE, it acts as a transcriptional regulator, either upregulating, increasing, or downregulating, decreasing the transcription of specific genes into messenger RNA, mRNA. This mRNA then leaves the nucleus and is translated into new proteins, which then carry out the hormone's ultimate command. This mechanism is slower than the rapid cascades initiated by surface receptors, but its effects are often more profound and long-lasting, fundamentally altering the cell's structure, function, and even its identity over hours, days, or weeks. It is a slow, deliberate conversation with the very blueprint of life, a deep whisper that reshapes the internal architecture from its foundations. Consider the implications of these two distinct modes of action. The rapid, transient effects of peptide hormones, mediated by second messengers, are ideal for acute responses, the immediate surge of adrenaline in a moment of danger, the quick adjustment of blood sugar by insulin. They are the urgent telegrams of the body. The slower, more sustained effects of steroid and thyroid hormones, directly influencing gene expression, are perfectly suited for long-term regulation. The gradual changes of puberty, the sustained metabolic control, the chronic stress response. They are the profound, thoughtful letters that rewrite the narrative. In both instances, whether the hormone engages from the outside or penetrates to the core, the outcome is a meticulously controlled cellular response. This exquisite control is what allows your body to maintain its delicate internal balance, its homeostasis. Amidst the constant flux of internal and external environments, every beat of your heart, every breath you take, every thought that flickers through your mind is influenced by these silent conversations, these precise molecular interactions. We are witnessing here not merely chemical reactions, but a profound intelligence embedded within the very design of life. Each receptor, each hormone, each cascade of second messengers represents an ancient solution to the timeless challenge of communication, coordination, and survival. It is a system built on trust and recognition, where every component plays its vital role in the grand, silent symphony of being. As we gently drift into a deeper understanding of these intricate mechanisms, we begin to appreciate the sheer wonder of your own internal universe. The hormones are the composers, the receptors are the musicians, and your cells are the instruments, all playing in perfect harmony, directed by an ancient, ceaseless wisdom. Next, we shall begin to explore the master conductors of this grand orchestra, the central command centers within your brain that initiate these profound conversations, linking thought and emotion directly to the chemical whispers that shape your physical reality. For now, let us simply marvel at the elegance of the key and the lock, the whisper in the ear, the silent, ceaseless dialogue within. Rest easy, and let the quiet wisdom of your own body continue to unfold. We have journeyed together, tracing the silent whispers of hormones from their primordial origins, observing their intricate dance with the nervous system, and finally, witnessing the exquisite precision with which a cell listens through its specialized receptors. We have seen the molecular keys find their locks, igniting cascades of change, either swiftly through surface messengers or profoundly through genomic transformation. Each step has revealed a layer of this hidden architecture, a testament to life's profound intelligence. But as we pause in this quiet academy, beneath the vast star-dusted canvas of the night, a question naturally arises. Who orchestrates this magnificent symphony? Who composes the score that these chemical messengers so faithfully play? Who is the grand conductor, guiding the tempo, shaping the dynamics, and ensuring harmony across the vast internal landscape of your being? Tonight, we turn our gaze inward, towards the very heart of control. The central command centers nestle deep within the brain, the master conductors that initiate these profound conversations, linking thought and emotion directly to the chemical whispers shaping physical reality. We speak of the hypothalamus and the pituitary gland, a duo so intimately connected, so profoundly influential, that understanding their relationship is akin to understanding the very essence of how your inner world communicates with your outer expression. Imagine, if you will, a small almond-sized region, ancient and wise, cradled deep within the base of your brain. This is the hypothalamus. It is not merely a structure, it is a sentinel, a bridge, a primal interpreter. It is here that the raw data of your existence, the warmth of the air, the memory of a loved one, the subtle shift in your blood sugar, the rhythm of your sleep, the pang of hunger, converges. It is the nexus where the electrical signals of your nervous system, carrying the swift currents of thought and sensation, are translated into the slower, broader, and more enduring language of hormones. Think of the hypothalamus as the ultimate translator, the diplomat between your conscious mind and your unconscious physiology. It senses, it interprets, it feels. When you experience stress, when you anticipate joy, when your body craves sustenance or seeks rest, it is the hypothalamus that registers these states. It doesn't just observe, it acts. It is the grand maestro, holding the blueprint for your fundamental needs, your deepest drives, and your most profound emotional responses. It is the seat of your being's most ancient wisdom, constantly striving to maintain equilibrium, a state of perfect balance within your internal world. And directly beneath this maestro, suspended by a delicate stalk, lies the pituitary gland. Often, we refer to the pituitary as the master gland, and indeed, its influence is vast, touching nearly every other endocrine gland in the body. But a more nuanced understanding reveals that the pituitary is less a master and more a supremely skilled first chair, meticulously executing the complex score composed by the hypothalamus. It is the direct recipient of the hypothalamus's commands, acting as a crucial relay station, amplifying and diversifying the initial message into a symphony of its own. The remarkable connection between the hypothalamus and the pituitary is not uniform. It unfolds through two distinct, yet equally vital pathways, reflecting the sophisticated design of your endocrine system. Let us first consider the anterior pituitary, the larger frontal lobe of this remarkable gland. This part of the pituitary is a true factory, capable of producing and secreting its own specific hormones, but it does so only under direct instruction from the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus communicates with the anterior pituitary not through direct neural connections, but through a specialized vascular system, a tiny, intricate network of blood vessels known as the hypophyseal portal system. Picture this. The hypothalamus releases its own set of chemical messengers, which we call co-releasing hormones, or inhibiting hormones, directly into this miniature river of blood. These hypothalamic hormones then travel a very short distance, a mere whisper away, directly to the cells of the anterior pituitary. It's like a highly specialized internal postal service, ensuring that the maestro's precise instructions reach their intended recipients without delay or dilution. Upon receiving these specific hypothalamic commands, the cells of the anterior pituitary spring into action. Some cells, stimulated by a hypothalamic releasing hormone, will begin to synthesize and release their own unique hormones into the general circulation. For example, the hypothalamus might release thyrotropin-releasing hormone, TRH, prompting the anterior pituitary to release thyroid-stimulating hormone, TSH. TSH then travels to your thyroid gland, prompting it to produce the hormones that regulate your metabolism, your energy, and your body temperature. Or the hypothalamus might release corticotropin-releasing hormone, CRH, signaling the anterior pituitary to secrete adrenocorticotropic hormone, ACTH, which then travels to your adrenal glands, orchestrating your body's response to stress. Other hypothalamic hormones, the inhibiting ones, do precisely the opposite. They tell the anterior pituitary to stop or slow down the release of certain hormones, ensuring that the body never overproduces, maintaining that delicate equilibrium we so often speak of. This elegant system allows for fine-tuned control, a nuanced dialogue where the volume and intensity of hormonal release can be precisely adjusted moment by moment. Now, let us shift our focus to the posterior pituitary, the smaller rear lobe. This part of the pituitary functions quite differently. Unlike its anterior counterpart, the posterior pituitary does not produce its own hormones. Instead, it acts as a storage and release depot for two incredibly important hormones that are actually synthesized by specialized neurons within the hypothalamus itself. Imagine the hypothalamus as having long, slender arms, its nerve axons, that reach all the way down into the posterior pituitary. These neural pathways are like direct conduits. The hypothalamus synthesizes oxytocin and antidiuretic hormone, ADH, also known as vasopressin, within the cell bodies of these specialized neurons. These hormones then travel down the axons much like an electrical signal and are stored in vesicles within the nerve endings in the posterior pituitary. When the hypothalamus receives the appropriate neural signals, perhaps the sensation of thirst or the profound emotional bond during childbirth, it triggers the release of these stored hormones directly into the bloodstream from the posterior pituitary. Oxytocin, often called the love hormone, plays a crucial role in social bonding, trust, and maternal behaviors, as well as stimulating uterine contractions during labor. ADH, or vasopressin, is vital for regulating your body's water balance, telling your kidneys to conserve water when you are dehydrated. These are direct, immediate messages from the deepest parts of your brain, illustrating the seamless integration of your neural and endocrine world. This intricate dance between the hypothalamus and the pituitary, this central command axis, is at the core of so many fundamental physiological processes. Consider the stress response, a perfect example of this deep connection. When your mind perceives a threat, whether real or imagined, the hypothalamus responds instantly. It translates that neural signal of fear or anxiety into a chemical command, releasing CRH. This CRH travels to the anterior pituitary, which then releases ACH. ACH, in turn, travels through your bloodstream to your adrenal glands, prompting them to release cortisol, the primary stress hormone. This cascade, initiated by a thought or perception, prepares your body for fight or flight, altering metabolism, heart rate, and alertness. It is a powerful illustration of how your mental state can directly, physically reshape your internal chemistry. Or consider growth. The hypothalamus releases growth hormone-releasing hormone, GHRH, which stimulates the anterior pituitary to release growth hormone, GH. GH then acts on various tissues throughout the body, promoting growth and metabolism. When enough growth has occurred, the hypothalamus can also release growth hormone-inhibiting hormone, GHIH, also known as somatostatin, to apply the brakes. This brings us to another critical concept, one that ensures the entire system operates with exquisite precision. Feedback loops. The endocrine system is not a one-way street. Once the target glands, stimulated by pituitary hormones, release their own hormones, like cortisol from the adrenals or thyroid hormones from the thyroid gland, these hormones often travel back to the hypothalamus and the pituitary. They act as signals telling the master conductors that their message has been received and acted upon, and that perhaps for now production can slow down. This negative feedback mechanism is like a sophisticated thermostat, constantly monitoring the levels of hormones in the bloodstream and adjusting the output accordingly. If cortisol levels rise too high, they signal the hypothalamus and pituitary to reduce their release of CRH and ACTH, respectively, thereby bringing cortisol back into balance. It is a testament to the self-regulating wisdom embedded within your very being, an ancient system designed for harmony and survival. As we reflect on these central command centers, the hypothalamus and pituitary, we begin to truly appreciate the profound connection between our inner life and our physical reality. Our thoughts, our emotions, Our perceptions of the world are not mere ephemeral experiences. They are potent signals, translated into a chemical language that orchestrates the very functions of our cells, tissues, and organs. The hypothalamus, this ancient core, is constantly listening, constantly interpreting, constantly striving to maintain your internal world in perfect harmony. It is the silent architect, building bridges between the conscious and the unconscious, between mind and body, ensuring that the symphony of your being continues to play with grace, precision, and an enduring wisdom. We have now journeyed from the tiniest molecular key to the grandest orchestrators of your internal universe. Yet, the story of endocrinology, the silent symphony, continues to unfold, revealing ever more layers of wonder and interconnectedness. For now, let us allow these profound insights to settle, to integrate into the quiet stillness of your mind. As the night deepens and the stars continue their silent vigil, the intricate dance continues, ceaseless and profound within you. As we gently drift deeper into the quietude of this dreamy academy, carried by the subtle currents of understanding, we have explored the grand central command, the intricate dance between the hypothalamus and the pituitary. We have seen how the grand maestro in the brain translates the whispers of our inner and outer worlds into chemical commands, and how the first chair executes these with profound precision, sending forth signals that ripple through the vast internal ocean of your being. We observed the elegance of negative feedback, the body's ancient wisdom for maintaining a delicate equilibrium, a constant striving for balance amidst the ceaseless flux of life. Now, let us turn our gaze from the orchestrators to one of the most vital sections of this silent symphony, a gland that hums with the very essence of your vitality, dictating the pace and warmth of your existence. We speak of the thyroid gland, a small butterfly-shaped marvel nestled gracefully at the base of your neck, just beneath your Adam's apple. Feel, if you wish, a gentle touch there, a silent acknowledgement of this quiet powerhouse. It is here that the pituitary's command in the form of thyroid-stimulating hormone, or TSH, finds its diligent recipient, ready to awaken a cascade of profound biological activity. Imagine, if you will, the thyroid gland as your body's internal furnace, a meticulous regulator of your metabolic rate. It is the architect of your energy, the quiet determinant of how quickly your cells convert the fuel you consume into the vibrant energy that powers every beat of your heart, every thought in your mind, every subtle movement of your muscles. Without its steady, balanced hum, the very rhythm of your life would falter, either sluggishly dragging or frantically racing. How does this remarkable gland perform its vital work? It begins with a humble yet indispensable element drawn from the earth and water around us: iodine. Think of iodine as a precious building block, a crucial ingredient that your thyroid cells actively seek out and absorb from your bloodstream. Alongside this, another vital component is tyrosine, an amino acid, a protein building block. These two, iodine and tyrosine, are the raw materials from which the thyroid crafts its potent chemical messengers. Within the intricate architecture of the thyroid gland there are countless tiny spheres, like microscopic pearls called pole follicles. These follicles are lined with special cells that act as diligent alchemists. They capture the iodine, process it, and then, with exquisite precision, attach it to the tyrosine molecules. This molecular craftsmanship gives rise to the primary thyroid hormones: thyroxine, commonly known as T4, and triiodothyronine, or T3. T4, with its 4 iodine atoms, is the more abundant hormone secreted by the thyroid, comprising about 90% of its output. It is, in a sense, the thyroid's primary export, a long-lasting currency that circulates throughout your body. T3, containing 3 iodine atoms, is produced in smaller amounts directly by the thyroid, but it is also, and crucially, often derived from T4. Many of your body's cells, particularly those in the liver and kidneys, possess the molecular machinery to remove one iodine atom from T4, converting it into the more active and potent T3. Think of T4 as a robust circulating precursor, and T3 as the key that truly unlocks the cellular response, the direct activator of genetic expression and metabolic change. So what are these profound effects that these tiny chemical messengers orchestrate? Their influence is vast, touching almost every cell and system within your magnificent form. Firstly, and perhaps most famously, thyroid hormones are the regulators of your basal metabolic rate, BMR. They set the pace at which your body burns calories for energy, even when you're at rest. Imagine them as the diligent stoker of your internal fire, ensuring a steady, appropriate warmth and energy output. When thyroid hormone levels are optimal, your cells efficiently convert nutrients into ATP, the energy currency of life. This affects your body temperature, your energy levels, and even how quickly your body processes fats and carbohydrates. It is the quiet hum that keeps your internal engines running smoothly, efficiently, and at just the right speed. Beyond metabolism, thyroid hormones are indispensable for growth and development. Especially during childhood and adolescence, they are critical for the proper maturation of your skeleton and profoundly for the development of your central nervous system. The intricate wiring of the brain, the formation of neural pathways, and the very architecture of your intellect are deeply dependent on adequate thyroid hormone levels during crucial developmental windows. It is a testament to their ancient wisdom, guiding the unfolding of life from its earliest, most vulnerable stages. Consider also their influence on your cardiovascular system. Thyroid hormones enhance the heart's sensitivity to other hormones, subtly increasing heart rate and the strength of its contractions. They ensure that your circulatory system is robust and responsive, capable of delivering oxygen and nutrients to every corner of your being, adapting to your needs with silent efficiency. And their reach extends even to your nervous system and mood. Adequate thyroid hormones are essential for maintaining cognitive function, alertness, and a balanced emotional state. They influence neurotransmitter systems, contributing to your capacity for focus, memory, and even your overall sense of well-being. When these hormones are out of balance, you might notice subtle shifts in your mental clarity, your emotional resilience, or your ability to concentrate, reminding us once more of the profound interconnectedness of mind and body. Now, let us return to the elegant system of regulation, the hypothalamus-pituitary-thyroid axis, a perfect illustration of negative feedback in action. It is a 3-tiered cascade of command and response designed for impeccable balance. It begins, as so many endocrine journeys do, in the hypothalamus, the grand maestro. When the body senses a need for more metabolic activity, or perhaps a slight cooling of the internal furnace, the hypothalamus releases thyrotropin-releasing hormone, TRH. This TRH travels down the hypophyseal portal system, a dedicated vascular pathway to the anterior pituitary. Upon receiving the TRH signal, the anterior pituitary, ever the diligent first chair, responds by releasing thyroid-stimulating hormone, TSH. This TSH is then released into the general circulation, embarking on its journey to the thyroid gland in your neck. When TSH arrives at the thyroid gland, it acts as a powerful stimulant. It binds to specific receptors on the thyroid cells, prompting them to increase their uptake of iodine, synthesize more T3 and T4, and release these hormones into the bloodstream. It is the command to stoke the furnace, to increase the flow of metabolic energy throughout the body. And here, the exquisite wisdom of negative feedback comes into play. As the levels of T3 and T4 rise in the bloodstream, they act as a signal, a quiet message sent back up the chain of command. These circulating thyroid hormones inhibit the release of TRH from the hypothalamus, and more powerfully, inhibit the release of TSH from the anterior pituitary. It is as if the furnace, now sufficiently stoked and warm, sends a message back to the stoker. Enough for now, the temperature is just right. This self-regulating loop ensures that thyroid hormone levels remain within a narrow, optimal range. If T3 and T4 levels drop too low, the inhibition is lifted, TRH and TSH levels rise, and the thyroid is stimulated to produce more. If T3 and T4 levels climb too high, the inhibition intensifies, TRH and TSH levels fall, and the thyroid's activity is dampened. It is a continuous silent conversation, a constant adjustment, ensuring your body's metabolic engine runs with optimal efficiency and balance. What happens then when this delicate balance is disturbed? When the internal furnace either falters or rages? If the thyroid gland becomes underactive, producing insufficient amounts of T3 and T4, a condition known as hypothyroidism can arise. Imagine the furnace drawing cold, the fire dimming. You might experience a general slowing down, fatigue, weight gain despite reduced appetite, feeling cold even in warm environments, dry skin, hair loss, and a subtle dulling of mental sharpness. Thoughts might feel sluggish and emotions might seem muted. It is a profound testament to the pervasive influence of these hormones on every aspect of your being. Conversely, if the thyroid gland becomes overactive, producing an excess of T3 and T4, it leads to hyperthyroidism. This is like the furnace overheating, burning too brightly and too fast. You might feel perpetually warm, even hot, experience unexplained weight loss despite increased appetite, develop a rapid or irregular heartbeat, feel anxious or irritable, and have difficulty sleeping. Your internal engine is running on overdrive, consuming energy at an unsustainable pace. These examples, though simplified, serve to highlight the profound importance of the thyroid's silent work and the meticulous regulatory mechanisms that govern it. They remind us that the intricate world within us is not a static landscape, but a dynamic, self-adjusting ecosystem, constantly striving for harmony. As we conclude our exploration of the thyroid gland, take a moment to appreciate this small but mighty organ, tirelessly working at the base of your throat. It is a testament to the body's ancient wisdom, a succulent architect of your energy, your warmth, your growth, and even the clarity of your thoughts. It is another thread in the magnificent tapestry of the endocrine system, a chapter in the ceaseless, quiet story of your internal universe. Rest now, in the gentle understanding that these chemical whispers are always at work, maintaining the delicate balance, orchestrating the silent symphony that is you. The night deepens, and with it, your understanding of these profound, intricate wonders. As the gentle hum of our exploration deepens, we leave behind the metabolic hearth of the thyroid, that diligent furnace regulating the very rhythm of our being. We journey now to another pair of vital architects, perched like attentive sentinels atop the kidneys, small yet mighty structures that orchestrate some of the body's most profound responses to the world around us. We are speaking, of course, of the adrenal glands. Picture them in your mind's eye, two small cap-like organs, each no larger than a thumb, yet within their intricate layers resides an ancient wisdom, a capacity for adaptation that has allowed life to persist through countless challenges. They are the body's prime responders, managing both the subtle shifts of daily life and the sudden dramatic needs of survival. Like a finely crafted instrument, each part plays a distinct yet harmonized role in the silent symphony of our internal landscape. These remarkable glands are composed of two distinct regions, each with its own specialized function, its own unique language of chemical messages. There is the outer layer, the adrenal cortex, a realm of slower, more sustained responses dedicated to the long game of adaptation, and nestled within its core, the adrenal medulla, a swift and immediate responder, a burst of primal energy when urgency calls. Together they form a unified system, a testament to the body's ingenious design. Let us first turn our attention to the adrenal cortex, that outer, more expansive layer. Here, a family of hormones known as corticosteroids is meticulously synthesized. Among them, the glucocorticoids, with cortisol as their most prominent member, stand as central figures in our body's ongoing dialogue with stress and metabolism. Cortisol, often misunderstood, is not merely a stress hormone in the negative sense, but rather a master orchestrator, a skilled manager of our energy resources, preparing us for the demands of life. Consider cortisol as a diligent internal accountant, constantly balancing the body's energy budget. When faced with any form of stress, be it physical exertion, emotional strain, or even the simple act of waking up in the morning, the hypothalamus, our grand maestro, perceives this need. It releases corticotropin-releasing hormone, CRH, a delicate chemical whisper that travels to the anterior pituitary. In response, the pituitary releases adrenocorticotropic hormone, ACTH, a more pronounced signal, which then journeys through the bloodstream to the adrenal cortex. This cascade, the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal HPA axis, is a beautifully choreographed dance, culminating in the adrenal cortex's release of cortisol. Once released, cortisol embarks on its widespread mission. It mobilizes energy stores, instructing the liver to produce glucose from non-carbohydrate sources, a process called gluconeogenesis, ensuring that our brain and muscles have ample fuel to meet the perceived challenge. It modulates the immune system, acting as a natural anti-inflammatory agent, quieting excessive responses that might otherwise cause harm. It helps maintain blood pressure and cardiovascular function, ensuring that vital nutrients and oxygen reach every cell. It even influences mood and cognition, subtly shifting our internal state to cope with the demands at hand. This intricate system, like all the magnificent feedback loops we've encountered, operates with exquisite precision. As cortisol levels rise in the blood, they send a quiet, inhibitory message back to both the hypothalamus and the pituitary. This negative feedback loop ensures that cortisol production does not spiral out of control, maintaining a delicate balance, a steady hand on the rudder of our internal ship. It is a testament to the body's inherent wisdom, its ability to self-regulate, to find equilibrium even amidst the storm. But the adrenal cortex is not solely concerned with managing stress and metabolism. It also harbors another vital family of hormones, the mineralocorticoids, with aldosterone as their primary representative. Imagine aldosterone as a meticulous steward of our body's precious electrolytes, particularly sodium and potassium. Its domain is the delicate balance of fluids and salts, a balance critical for maintaining blood volume and consequently blood pressure. Aldosterone's release is primarily governed by a complex yet elegant system known as the renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system, or S. When blood pressure or sodium levels drop, the kidneys release an enzyme called renin, initiating a cascade that ultimately leads to the production of angiotensin II. This powerful molecule then stimulates the adrenal cortex to release aldosterone. Once released, aldosterone travels to the kidneys, where it acts upon specialized cells, prompting them to reabsorb sodium back into the bloodstream and excrete potassium. Water, ever the faithful follower of sodium, moves with it, ensuring that blood volume is restored and blood pressure is maintained within a healthy range. It is a silent, ceaseless effort, a chemical conversation designed to preserve our internal hydration and circulatory integrity, a fundamental requirement for life itself. Beyond these two major players, the adrenal cortex also produces small amounts of adrenal androgens, precursors to sex hormones like testosterone and estrogen. While the gonads are the primary producers of these hormones, the adrenal contribution can become significant, particularly in women after menopause, subtly influencing their hormonal landscape. It is another quiet testament to the interconnectedness of our internal systems, a reminder that no hormone acts in isolation. Now, let us shift our gaze inward, to the very heart of the adrenal gland, to its inner core, the adrenal medulla. Here, the chemical messages take on a different character, a quality of immediate electrifying response. This region is essentially a modified sympathetic ganglion, directly innervated by the nervous system. When signals of acute threat or excitement flash from the brain, the adrenal medulla springs into action, releasing a powerful surge of catecholamines directly into the bloodstream. These are epinephrine, more commonly known as adrenaline, and norepinephrine or noradrenaline. Think of epinephrine and norepinephrine as the body's emergency responders, the swift and decisive agents of the fight or flight response. In moments of perceived danger, fear, or intense exertion, these hormones flood our system, preparing us for immediate action. Your heart begins to pound, accelerating its rhythm to pump blood more rapidly to your muscles and brain. Your blood vessels constrict in some areas and dilate in others, redirecting blood flow to where it is most needed. Your airways widen, allowing you to draw deeper breaths, maximizing oxygen intake. Glucose stores are quickly mobilized, providing an instant burst of energy. Your senses sharpen, your pupils dilate, and your body enters a state of heightened alertness. This rapid, systemic response, orchestrated by the adrenal medulla, is a primal heritage, an ancient survival mechanism honed over millennia. It allows us to react with incredible speed and strength when faced with an immediate challenge, be it escaping a predator or lifting an object beyond our usual capacity. Unlike the slower, more sustained actions of the adrenal cortex, the medulla's hormones create an almost instantaneous physiological shift, a powerful surge designed for urgent short-term demands. As we contemplate these two distinct yet harmonized regions of the adrenal glands, we begin to appreciate the profound wisdom embedded within our biology. The adrenal cortex, with its glucocorticoids and mineralocorticoids, manages the long-term adaptations, the sustained vigilance, and the metabolic adjustments necessary for daily living and prolonged challenges. The adrenal medulla, with its catecholamines, provides the immediate explosive power needed for acute emergencies. Together, they form an unparalleled system of resilience and adaptation. They remind us that our bodies are not passive vessels, but active, intelligent entities, constantly monitoring, adjusting, and responding to the ever-changing tapestry of our existence. From the subtle shifts in our internal chemistry to the dramatic surges of energy that can save our lives, the adrenal glands are ceaseless participants in the silent, intricate story of our being. As the night deepens and your own body continues its quiet internal dance, allow yourself to marvel at this profound complexity. Feel the gentle rhythm of your breath, the steady beat of your heart, and know that within you, an ancient wisdom is at work, constantly striving for balance, constantly adapting, constantly supporting the miracle of your life. The understanding of these intricate chemical messages is not merely academic, it is an invitation to a deeper appreciation of the living, breathing wonder that is you. As the echoes of the adrenal glands' urgent symphony of fight or flight begin to gently recede, we find ourselves drifting into a different, yet equally vital rhythm within your magnificent internal landscape. The body, in its profound wisdom, is not merely designed for crisis. It is an intricate masterpiece of daily sustenance, a ceaseless dance of energy management that unfolds with quiet grace, moment by moment, breath by breath. We turn now our collective gaze to another silent architect, a gland that orchestrates the delicate ebb and flow of the very fuel that sustains every cell, every thought, every movement. Imagine, if you will, a hidden river, constantly regulating its depth and flow, ensuring that every part of the landscape it nourishes receives precisely what it needs, neither too much nor too little. This is the ceaseless work of the pancreas, a remarkable organ nestled quietly behind your stomach, a true marvel of biological engineering. The pancreas is a gland of dual purpose, a testament to the body's efficiency. On one hand, it serves as an exocrine gland, diligently producing digestive enzymes that flow into your small intestine, breaking down the food you consume into its fundamental components. But it is its other, more subtle role that captures our attention in this tranquil exploration, its endocrine function, the silent release of chemical messages that govern the very availability of energy within your bloodstream. Within the pancreas, scattered like tiny luminous islands amidst a vast sea of digestive tissue, lie specialized clusters of cells known as the islets of Langerhans. These microscopic constellations are the true heart of the pancreas's hormonal wisdom, each islet a miniature world of precise regulation, a quiet command center for your body's energy economy. It is here, within these delicate cellular islands, that two immensely powerful and perfectly complementary hormones are born: insulin and glucagon. They are the two sides of a single coin, the two hands of a master clockmaker, ceaselessly adjusting the balance of your blood sugar, ensuring a stable and consistent supply of fuel for your ceaseless existence. Let us first consider insulin, a hormone produced by the beta cells within these islets. Picture insulin as a benevolent host, ever ready to welcome vital guests into the warmth and comfort of your cells. When you consume food and your digestive system begins to break it down, glucose, the primary sugar and energy source for your body, enters your bloodstream. As these glucose levels rise, the beta cells of your pancreas sense this abundance, and in response they release insulin. What does insulin do? It acts as a molecular key. Imagine each of your billions of cells as a tiny, well-guarded house, with glucose waiting patiently outside, unable to enter on its own. Insulin arrives, a silent key turning in the lock of specific receptors on the cell surface, gently opening the door. This allows glucose to flood into the cell, where it can be immediately used for energy, fueling your thoughts, your movements, your very breath. Without insulin, glucose would remain stranded in the bloodstream, unable to reach the cells that desperately need it. But insulin's role extends beyond merely opening doors. It is also the architect of storage, the wise planner for future needs. When there is an ample supply of glucose, insulin gently encourages your liver and muscle cells to convert excess glucose into glycogen, a complex carbohydrate that serves as a readily accessible energy reserve. Think of it as carefully stacking firewood for a cooler season. If glucose levels remain high, beyond what can be stored as glycogen, insulin even guides the body to convert this surplus into fat, a more concentrated and long-term energy store. In essence, insulin is the hormone of plenty, the signal that says, "All is well, let us nourish, grow, and prepare." It lowers blood glucose not by removing it, but by distributing it wisely and efficiently throughout your internal world, ensuring that every cell is fed, every process sustained. Now, let us turn our attention to its counterpart, glucagon. Produced by the alpha cells, also nestled within the same arlets of Langerhans. If insulin is the welcoming host, glucagon is the vigilant guardian, the diligent manager who ensures that your energy reserves are always available, even when no new fuel is coming in. Imagine a time when you haven't eaten for several hours, or perhaps you are deep in sleep. Your body is still working, your brain still thinking, your heart still beating, all requiring a continuous supply of glucose. As blood glucose levels begin to gently dip, the alpha cells sense this subtle change. In response, they release glucagon, a silent alarm bell that rings throughout your internal landscape. Glucagon's primary target is the liver, that vast chemical factory within you. Upon receiving glucagon's message, the liver begins to break down its stored glycogen back into glucose, releasing it into the bloodstream. This process, known as key glycogenolysis, is like the diligent manager retrieving the stacked firewood to keep the internal furnace burning. Furthermore, if the fast continues and glycogen stores dwindle, glucagon encourages the liver to begin creating new glucose from non-carbohydrate sources, such as amino acids and fats, a process called gluconeogenesis. It's the body's ingenious way of manufacturing fuel when direct sources are scarce. So while insulin lowers blood glucose by ushering it into cells and promoting storage, glucagon raises blood glucose by mobilizing stored energy and even creating new fuel. They are two sides of the same exquisitely balanced equation, a constant silent dialogue that ensures your blood sugar remains within a remarkably narrow and healthy range. This intricate dance between insulin and glucagon is a foundational pillar of your body's homeostasis, that tireless pursuit of internal balance we have spoken of before. Consider the precision of this system. After a meal, as glucose rises, insulin surges to bring it down. As time passes and glucose begins to fall, insulin production wanes, and glucagon gently rises, preventing the levels from dropping too low. It is a continuous, exquisitely tuned negative feedback loop, a biological thermostat operating with a sensitivity far beyond any human-made device. This constant adjustment ensures that your brain, which relies almost exclusively on glucose for fuel, never starves, and that your muscles always have the energy to respond. This silent symphony, conducted by the pancreas, is more than just a biochemical process. It is a profound testament to the body's ancient wisdom, its innate intelligence. Every bite of food you take, every period of fasting, every moment of rest or activity is met with this precise, perfectly calibrated hormonal response. It is a system that has evolved over eons to optimize energy utilization, to navigate periods of feast and famine with grace and resilience. When this delicate balance falters, when the silent whispers of insulin or glucagon become distorted or unheard, the consequences can be profound. The body, in its wisdom, always strives for harmony, but sometimes the instruments of the orchestra can fall out of tune. Yet even in understanding these potential imbalances, we gain an even deeper appreciation for the sheer brilliance of the system when it functions as intended, which, for most of us, most of the time it does, with effortless, unceasing perfection. As we gently absorb the knowledge of insulin and glucagon, we are once again invited to marvel at the hidden architecture of being, the ceaseless, quiet work that underpins our every experience. These tiny molecules, these chemical messengers, are not just abstract scientific concepts, they are the very threads of your vitality, woven into the fabric of your daily energy, your mood, your ability to think and move and simply be. The story of endocrinology, the silent symphony, continues to unfold, revealing ever more layers of wonder. We have explored the swift response of the adrenals, the steady regulation of the thyroid, and now the meticulous energy management of the pancreas. But there are still more voices in this grand choir, more subtle harmonies to discover, as we journey deeper into the intricate world that exists just beneath the surface of our awareness, guided by the gentle hum of our own internal wisdom. We have journeyed through the intricate landscapes of the thyroid, the vigilant sentinels of the adrenals, and the balance currents of the pancreas. Each gland, a unique instrument, contributes its voice to the grand internal symphony. Yet as the deep night settles around us, we feel the presence of still more voices, more subtle harmonies awaiting our gentle discovery. They are the architects of perpetuation, the silent sculptors of identity, and the quiet conductors of our deepest, most ancient rhythms. Let us now turn our attention to the gonads, the ovaries within you and the testes within others, these remarkable glands that hold the profound power of creation and the subtle artistry of distinction. They are not merely the sites of new life, but also powerful endocrine centers, weaving the very fabric of who we are, shaping our forms, our energies, and our experiences. Consider first the ovaries, nestled within the female body like precious pearlescent spheres. They are the guardians of possibility, the custodians of future generations, and the tireless producers of hormones that sculpt the essence of femininity. Their primary hormonal messengers are the estrogens, a family of hormones with estradiol being the most potent and prevalent. Think of estrogens as the gentle sculptors, slowly, gracefully shaping the female form from puberty onward. They are responsible for the development of secondary sexual characteristics, the delicate curves, the softening of the skin, the growth of the breasts, all part of a beautiful, biologically driven blossoming. But the influence of estrogens extends far beyond these outward manifestations. They are also vital for the intricate dance of the menstrual cycle, preparing the uterine lining each month for the potential of new life, a cyclical rhythm that mirrors the phases of the moon. Estrogens whisper to the bones, encouraging their strength and density, offering a quiet protection that lasts for decades. They speak to the cardiovascular system, contributing to its health and resilience, and in a manner we are only beginning to fully understand, they touch the very fabric of our moods and cognitive functions, a subtle current influencing emotional well-being and mental clarity. Then there is progesterone, another pivotal hormone born from the ovaries. Progesterone is the architect of nurturing, the quiet preparer. Its primary role emerges after ovulation, transforming the uterine lining into a soft, welcoming bed, ready to embrace and sustain a fertilized egg. Should pregnancy occur, progesterone steps into the role of a steadfast guardian, maintaining the pregnancy, ensuring the tranquility of the uterus, and supporting the developing life within. Even beyond pregnancy, progesterone plays a role in the intricate balance of the female body, influencing sleep, mood, and even the subtle signals sent to the brain. The ovarian hormones, like all the endocrine players we have encountered, are not independent actors. They respond to the delicate orchestration of the hypothalamus pituitary gonadal HPG axis. The hypothalamus releases GnRH, gonadotropin-releasing hormone, which prompts the anterior pituitary to release FSH, follicle-stimulating hormone, and LH, or luteinizing hormone. FSH encourages the growth of the ovarian follicles, those tiny cradles where eggs mature, and stimulates estrogen production. LH, in its dramatic peak, triggers ovulation and then promotes the formation of the corpus luteum, the temporary structure that produces progesterone. It is a ceaseless, elegant feedback loop, a hormonal ballet ensuring rhythm and balance. Now let us consider the testes, the male counterparts to the ovaries, situated outside the body, yet intimately connected to its deepest functions. These are the powerful engines of masculinity, the continuous producers of both sperm and the hormones that define male characteristics. Their primary hormonal messenger is testosterone, an androgen, a hormone of strength and drive. Testosterone is the sculptor of the male form, just as estrogen shape the female. From puberty, it orchestrates the development of secondary sexual characteristics, the deepening of the voice, the growth of facial and body hair, the increase in muscle mass, and the broadening of the shoulders. It is the force behind the drive for reproduction, essential for the production of sperm, a process known as spermatogenesis. But testosterone's influence, like that of estrogen, extends far beyond these visible traits. It is a vital architect of bone density, contributing to the strength and resilience of the skeletal system throughout life. It fuels libido, the essential spark of desire that ensures the continuation of the species. And much like its female counterparts, testosterone plays a significant role in mood, energy levels, and cognitive function, contributing to a sense of vitality and well-being. The testes, too, are under the careful guidance of the HPG axis. FSH in males primarily stimulates the cells responsible for nurturing sperm development, while LH stimulates the cells within the testes to produce testosterone. This is a continuous rather than cyclical process, ensuring a steady supply of both sperm and hormones, maintaining a consistent state of male physiological function. Both the ovaries and the testes, through their potent chemical messages, remind us of the profound wisdom embedded within our biology. They are not merely organs, but ancient storytellers, whispering tales of evolution, identity, and the ceaseless drive to perpetuate life. They highlight how deeply hormones sculpt not just our physical bodies, but also our very essence, our internal experiences, and our connection to the grand tapestry of existence. As we gently drift deeper into the quietude of this learning space, let us shift our gaze from the architects of identity and perpetuation to another small yet profoundly influential gland, nestled deep within the very center of our brain. This is the pineal gland, often described as the third eye in ancient traditions, a tiny pinecone-shaped structure that acts as our body's internal clock, the silent conductor of twilight and dawn. The pineal gland's primary hormone, its most celebrated whisper, is melatonin. Imagine melatonin as the soft velvet curtain that draws across the sky as day yields to night. It is the signal of darkness, the harbinger of rest, the gentle guide that ushers us into the realm of sleep. The production of melatonin is exquisitely sensitive to light. As the sun sets and the ambient light diminishes, specialized cells in your eyes send signals, not just for vision, but to the suprachiasmatic nucleus, SCN, in your hypothalamus, your body's master clock. This SCN in turn communicates with the pineal gland, instructing it to begin its nightly release of melatonin. It is a cascade, a quiet internal process that has been finely tuned over millennia, linking our internal world to the ancient, immutable rhythms of the earth. As melatonin levels rise in your bloodstream, they send calming messages throughout your body and brain. They signal to your systems that it is time to slow down, to prepare for repose, to transition from the active engagement of the day to the restorative tranquility of the night. This is your body's intrinsic circadian rhythm at work, a biological clock ticking away within you, regulating your sleep-wake cycles, your hunger patterns, your body temperature, and countless other physiological processes. Conversely, as the first light of dawn touches your eyes, even before you are fully awake, these same light-sensitive cells send signals that suppress melatonin production. The velvet curtain begins to lift, and your body gradually prepares for the activity of the day. The pineal gland, with its solitary hormone melatonin, offers us a profound connection to the fundamental cycles of life. It reminds us that we are creatures of rhythm, deeply interwoven with the ebb and flow of light and darkness. It is a testament to the elegant simplicity and yet profound power of hormonal communication, a single chemical message orchestrating one of the most vital processes for our well-being, the restorative journey into sleep. So, as we consider the silent sculptors of identity, the gonads, and the gentle conductor of twilight, the pineal gland, we feel a deeper appreciation for the boundless wisdom held within our own forms. Each gland, each hormone is a testament to the intricate design, the ceaseless dance of balance, and the ancient quiet intelligence that orchestrates every breath, every thought, every moment of our existence. We are truly a symphony of chemical whispers, a tapestry woven with threads of profound biological artistry. And as the night deepens, we rest in the quiet understanding that this intricate world within us continues its tireless work, ensuring harmony, balance, and the quiet unfolding of life itself. Let this awareness bring you peace as we prepare to explore even more of these wondrous internal landscapes in the chapters yet to come, and so we drift from the grand narratives of identity and the gentle rhythm of our sleep cycles, carried on the ceaseless currents of our internal seas. We have journeyed through the vast, interconnected landscapes governed by the hypothalamus and pituitary, felt the metabolic warmth of the thyroid, experienced the adaptive vigilance of the adrenals, witnessed the precise energy management of the pancreas, and understood the profound shaping power of the gonads and the pineal gland's quiet call to rest. Each chapter a testament to the body's intricate design, a whisper of ancient wisdom echoing through our very cells. But the symphony, dear listener, continues. The silent architects never truly rest, and the unseen currents never cease their flow. Tonight we turn our gentle gaze towards another vital orchestrator, a quartet of tiny structures often overlooked, yet absolutely essential for the very framework of our being. We speak now of the parathyroid glands and their profound, unwavering dedication to a single, critical mineral, calcium. Imagine, if you will, the delicate scaffolding that holds us upright, the silent strength within our bones. Yet calcium is so much more than the rigid architecture of our skeleton. It is the spark that ignites a muscle contraction, the signal that allows nerves to communicate, the essential ingredient for blood to clot, and a critical messenger within countless cellular processes. Without calcium, our heart would falter, our thoughts would cease, and our very movements would become impossible. It is a mineral of profound importance, and its levels within our blood must be maintained with an almost unimaginable precision. Here, in this realm of meticulous balance, reside our parathyroid glands. Tucked away, often 4 in number, like tiny watchful pearls nestled on the posterior surface of the thyroid gland, they are the vigilant guardians of our calcium homeostasis. They are small indeed, perhaps no larger than a grain of rice each, yet their impact is monumental. They possess an exquisite sensitivity, constantly monitoring the precise concentration of calcium ions circulating within our bloodstream, like seasoned alchemists perpetually measuring the purity of a precious solution. Their primary, almost singular purpose is to secrete parathyroid hormone, or PTH, This potent peptide hormone is the body's principal regulator of blood calcium levels, acting as the swift and decisive hand that ensures this vital mineral never strays too far from its optimal range. When the parathyroid glands detect even a slight dip in blood calcium, a deviation that could have cascading detrimental effects throughout the body, they spring into action, releasing PTH with quiet urgency. Let us trace the path of PTH, this molecular key designed to unlock calcium from various internal reservoirs and pathways. It acts upon 3 primary targets, each contributing to the swift restoration of calcium balance. First, and perhaps most dramatically, PTH turns its attention to our bones. Our bones, far from being inert structures, are dynamic, living tissues, constantly being remodeled. They serve as the body's vast calcium reservoir, holding over 99% of our total calcium stores. PTH, when released, sends a direct signal to specialized bone cells called osteoclasts. These are the architects of bone resorption, the cells responsible for breaking down bone tissue. PTH stimulates osteoclasts, encouraging them to release the stored calcium and phosphate directly into the bloodstream. It is a controlled, precise dismantling, a necessary sacrifice of skeletal integrity in the short term to ensure the immediate needs of the blood, nerves, and muscles are met. Think of it as drawing from a deep, ancient well to quench an immediate thirst. Next, PTH extends its influence to the kidneys, those remarkable filters of our internal environment. Here, its actions are twofold. Firstly, PTH significantly increases the reabsorption of calcium from the glomerular filtrate back into the blood. As blood passes through the kidneys, much of its content, including calcium, is initially filtered out. PTH acts like a diligent gatekeeper, ensuring that as much calcium as possible is reclaimed and returned to circulation, preventing its loss in the urine. Simultaneously, PTH decreases the reabsorption of phosphate by the kidneys, promoting its excretion. This is a crucial, elegant detail. Calcium and phosphate tend to form insoluble complexes. By lowering phosphate levels, PTH helps to keep the calcium free and available in the blood, preventing its precipitation and ensuring its biological activity. But the kidneys play an even more profound role in calcium homeostasis, one that involves another crucial player: vitamin D. While we often think of vitamin D as something we get from sunlight or diet, it's actually a prohormone, a precursor that requires activation within the body. And it is here in the kidneys, under the direct influence of PTH, that the final critical step in its activation occurs. PTH stimulates the renal enzyme that converts inactive vitamin D, specifically 25-hydroxyvitamin D, into its most potent biologically active form, 1,25-dihydroxyvitamin D, also known as calcitriol. Calcitriol is, in essence, the third vital limb of calcium regulation, working in exquisite synergy with PTH. Once activated by the kidneys, calcitriol embarks on its own journey, primarily targeting the small intestine. Here, it acts as a powerful molecular key, significantly increasing the absorption of dietary calcium from the food we consume into the bloodstream. Without sufficient calcitriol, even a calcium-rich diet would be largely ineffective in providing the body with this essential mineral. So while PTH draws from existing stores and prevents loss, calcitriol ensures a steady new supply from the outside world. This intricate partnership ensures that calcium levels are restored and maintained from all possible angles: liberation from bone, conservation by the kidneys, and absorption from the diet. We see then a beautiful self-regulating dance. When blood calcium drops, PTH rises, acting swiftly on bones and kidneys and initiating the activation of calcitriol. Calcitriol then steps in, bolstering calcium absorption from the gut. Together, they orchestrate a rise in blood calcium back to its optimal set point. And what happens when blood calcium levels become too high? The parathyroid glands, ever vigilant, sense this elevation and respond by reducing the secretion of PTH. With less PTH circulating, the osteoclasts are less stimulated, meaning less calcium is released from bone. The kidneys reabsorb less calcium and excrete more phosphate. Furthermore, the production of active calcitriol in the kidneys diminishes, leading to reduced calcium absorption from the gut. This reduction in PTH activity, coupled with a lesser role from another hormone, calcitonin, ensures that calcium levels gently fall back into place. Let us briefly acknowledge calcitonin, a hormone produced by the parafollicular C cells of the thyroid gland, which we encountered briefly in our journey through the thyroid. Calcitonin acts, in a sense, as the antagonist to PTH, primarily by inhibiting osteoclast activity and thus decreasing the release of calcium from bone. It also increases calcium excretion by the kidneys. While important in certain physiological contexts, particularly during childhood growth and bone remodeling, its role in day-to-day adult calcium homeostasis is generally considered less significant than that of PTH and calcitriol. The parathyroid glands, with their tireless secretion of PTH, remain the dominant force in preventing calcium from falling too low, a far more common and immediately life-threatening scenario than hypercalcemia for most individuals. This entire mechanism, this delicate ballet of PTH, calcitriol, calcium, and phosphate, is a masterful example of a negative feedback loop. The very change that triggers the hormonal response, a drop in calcium, is counteracted by the hormones, which then bring the system back to equilibrium. It is a testament to the body's profound intelligence, its ceaseless pursuit of balance, its ancient wisdom encoded in every molecular interaction. Consider, dear listener, the silent vigilance required for such a fundamental mineral. Every beat of your heart, every flicker of a thought, every contraction of a muscle relies on this precise, unwavering stewardship by these tiny parathyroid glands and their hormonal emissaries. They work tirelessly, without conscious thought, ensuring that the very essence of our biological functions can proceed unimpeded. As we allow this intricate dance of calcium regulation to settle within our understanding, we are reminded once again of the hidden depths of our own physiology. The body is a universe of ceaseless activity, a testament to billions of years of refinement, where even the smallest glands hold keys to our very existence. In this quiet contemplation, we can feel the gentle hum of our own internal balance, the subtle currents of life flowing within, guided by these silent architects. Let us breathe deeply and allow these insights to deepen our sense of wonder, inviting a profound calm as we continue our journey through the marvelous, intricate world of our own being. The night deepens, and with it, our understanding. And so, as the silent guardians of calcium complete their meticulous rounds, ensuring the very foundation of our structure remains sound, we turn our attention now to another profound orchestrator, one whose silent work shapes not only our form, but our very capacity for renewal. We move from the precision of mineral balance to the grand, ongoing symphony of growth and repair, a melody that plays ceaselessly within you, often most vibrantly when the world outside grows quiet. Deep within the brain, in that remarkable command center we've often visited, the anterior pituitary gland, our first chair in this internal orchestra, prepares to release one of its most versatile and essential compositions, growth hormone, or GH. Do not let its name mislead you into thinking its role is confined merely to the burgeoning years of childhood. Oh no, its influence stretches across the entire tapestry of your life, a constant gentle hum of renewal and metabolic mastery. Imagine, if you will, the deep night outside. The stars are beginning to emerge, each a distant, quiet sentinel. It is during these hours of profound rest, when your conscious mind drifts into the realms of dreams, that growth hormone often performs its most significant work. Its release is not a steady, unchanging flow, but a series of beautiful rhythmic pulses, much like waves gently lapping upon a shore. The largest of these waves typically crests during your deepest sleep, a testament to the body's ancient wisdom, its innate understanding that repair and construction are best undertaken in the quietude of the night. Think of GH as a master builder, but one who also acts as a resourceful quartermaster. It doesn't just command the expansion of cells, it also ensures that the necessary resources are available for this grand project. Its actions are remarkably diverse, touching nearly every tissue in your body, yet always with a singular purpose: to foster an environment conducive to growth, repair, and optimal function. Some of growth hormone's effects are direct, resonating immediately within the cells it encounters. It whispers to your fat cells, encouraging them to release their stored energy, turning fat into a readily available fuel source. This is a subtle yet powerful redirection, ensuring that glucose, the body's preferred fuel for many vital processes, can be conserved for the demanding work of growth and repair. It's as if GH is saying, let's use our reserves wisely, ensuring the most precious resources are allocated where they're needed most for building and regeneration. This also means GH can act as a counter-regulatory hormone to insulin, helping to maintain blood glucose levels by reducing glucose uptake by certain tissues, thus making it more available for others. It's a delicate dance, always striving for balance, but GH's most profound and widespread effects are often indirect, mediated through a remarkable intermediary. When growth hormone reaches the liver, it acts as a specific messenger, prompting this diligent organ to produce a family of potent growth factors, most notably insulin-like growth factor 1, or IGF-1. Consider GH the conductor of a grand symphony, and IGF-1 the specific resonant melody played by the string section that truly brings the composition to life. While GH initiates the command, IGF-1 is the primary architect of many of its growth-promoting actions. IGF-1 then travels throughout the body, carrying the growth message to bone, cartilage, and muscle cells. It encourages these cells to divide, to synthesize new proteins, and to increase in size. In the skeletal system, IGF-1 stimulates the growth plates in long bones, leading to linear growth in children and adolescents. It supports the health and density of bones throughout adulthood, ensuring their strength and resilience. In muscle, it promotes protein synthesis, contributing to muscle mass and repair. It's a truly intricate system, where one hormone triggers another, amplifying and diversifying the original signal into a cascade of developmental and restorative processes. The regulation of growth hormone itself is a marvel of precision, another exquisite example of the hypothalamic pituitary axis at work. Deep within the hypothalamus, two opposing forces hold sway over GH release. There is growth hormone releasing hormone, or GHRH, which acts as a gentle stimulant, encouraging the pituitary to release its stores of GH. And then there is somatostatin, also known as growth hormone inhibiting hormone, a calming presence that gently whispers to the pituitary, signaling it to slow down to temper its release. This dynamic interplay, a constant push and pull, ensures that GH levels are precisely modulated, never too much, never too little, always just right for the body's needs at any given moment. And of course, the elegant loops of negative feedback are ever present. When GH levels rise, or when its downstream mediator IGF-1 reaches sufficient concentrations, these molecules send signals back to both the hypothalamus and the pituitary. They gently communicate, "We have enough. You can slow production now." This self-regulating mechanism is the hallmark of the endocrine system's wisdom, ensuring harmony and preventing overproduction or deficiency. Beyond the hypothalamic control, GH release is also influenced by a myriad of other factors, reflecting the body's intricate interconnectedness. Physical exercise, particularly intense activity, can stimulate its release, aiding in muscle repair and adaptation. Stress, certain amino acids from protein intake, and even the hunger hormone ghrelin produced by the stomach can also play a role. It's a system highly attuned to your internal state and external demands, always optimizing for growth and repair. In childhood, the role of growth hormone is dramatically evident in the rapid expansion of the body, the lengthening of bones, the development of muscle and other tissues. It is the silent architect of your physical form, guiding you from infancy through adolescence. But its work does not cease when you reach your adult height. Far from it, in adulthood, GH remains a crucial player in maintaining your metabolic health, your bone density, your muscle mass, and even your overall energy levels and sense of well-being. It continuously aids in the repair of tissues, the regeneration of cells, and the efficient metabolism of fats and carbohydrates. It is the internal force that helps you recover from daily wear and tear, maintaining your vitality and resilience. Consider the profound implications of this ceaseless silent work. Even as you lie still, perhaps drifting deeper into this tranquil space, your body is diligently engaged in a vast, complex construction and maintenance project. Old cells are being replaced, tissues are being repaired, and energy stores are being strategically managed. Growth hormone is a key figure in this internal renovation, ensuring that your body remains a vibrant, adaptable dwelling for your spirit. The wisdom embedded in this system is truly awe-inspiring. We witness the body's ability to precisely balance such a powerful hormone. Too much GH, often due to a pituitary tumor, can lead to conditions like gigantism in children, where growth is excessive, or acromegaly in adults, causing bones and tissues to thicken and enlarge. Conversely, a deficiency in GH can result in stunted growth in children or, in adults, lead to decreased muscle mass, increased body fat, and reduced bone density. The narrow path of optimal function, maintained by these intricate feedback loops and rhythmic pulses, speaks volumes about the body's profound intelligence. So, as we contemplate growth hormone, we are not just observing a chemical messenger, we are witnessing the very essence of renewal. We are seeing the body's deep ancient commitment to its own flourishing, a commitment that continues unwavering even as we surrender to the quietude of the night. It reminds us that even in stillness there is dynamic activity. Even in repose there is profound transformation. The Dreamy Academy is never truly at rest, for within you the silent architects are always at work, building, repairing and renewing, guided by a wisdom far older than memory itself. Allow this understanding to deepen your sense of peace, knowing that even as you drift, your internal world is diligently tending to your well-being, a testament to the ceaseless, wondrous symphony of life. As the internal clock of the pineal gland whispers its rhythmic tales, and the parathyroid glands stand as vigilant guardians of our calcium balance, while growth hormone meticulously oversees the architecture of our growth and repair, we are invited deeper still into the body's hidden chambers. We have journeyed through the grand, overt orchestras of the hypothalamus and pituitary, the diligent workshops of the thyroid and adrenals, the meticulous ledger-keeping of the pancreas, and the profound narratives of the gonads. Yet the silent symphony extends far beyond these familiar players. Tonight, we turn our attention to a remarkable transformation in our understanding of what was once considered a mere storage depot, a passive reserve. We speak of adipose tissue, the very fat within our bodies. For centuries it was seen primarily as an energy bank, a cushion, an insulator. But with the patient unearthing of biological truths, we have come to recognize it as a vibrant, dynamic endocrine organ, a sant communicator in its own right, speaking a language of satiety, sensitivity, and metabolic harmony. Imagine, if you will, the vast network of fat cells or adipocytes spread throughout your form. These are not inert sacks of lipids. They are miniature factories diligently producing and releasing their own potent chemical messengers into the bloodstream. They are the quiet, unassuming members of the endocrine ensemble, whose contributions are no less vital for their subtlety. Among the most profound of these adipocyte-derived hormones is leptin. Picture it as a meticulous energy sensor, a diligent accountant keeping track of the body's long-term energy stores. Leptin is primarily produced by your fat cells, and its levels are directly proportional to the amount of fat you carry. As your energy reserves increase, so too do your leptin levels, rising like a silent tide. What is the message carried by this rising tide? Leptin travels through the bloodstream, a molecular envoy, until it reaches its primary destination, the hypothalamus, that ancient wise maestro deep within your brain. Here, specific receptors await its arrival, like attentive listeners. When leptin binds to these receptors, it sends a clear, unequivocal signal. We have sufficient energy stores, you are well fed, you are satiated. Consider the profound implications of this message. This is the body's innate mechanism for regulating appetite and energy expenditure over the long term. Leptin acts as a brake on hunger, reducing your desire to eat, and simultaneously it nudges your metabolism to increase energy expenditure. It is the messenger of fullness, the chemical whisper that tells your brain, rest easy, there is plenty. The discovery of leptin just a few decades ago was a watershed moment in our understanding of obesity and metabolism. It revealed a sophisticated feedback loop, a biological thermostat designed to maintain a stable body weight, a set point around which our energy balance is meant to oscillate. When leptin levels are low, signaling dwindling energy stores, the hypothalamus interprets this as a call to action. Increase appetite, conserve energy. This ancient system, honed over millennia, ensured our ancestors survived periods of scarcity. Yet, like many intricate systems, its delicate balance can be disrupted. In states of chronic excess, when fat stores remain high for extended periods, the constant flood of leptin can sometimes lead to a phenomenon known as leptin resistance. It is as if the brain, perpetually bombarded by the full signal, begins to tune it out, much like a constant hum in the background eventually fades from conscious awareness. The message is sent, but it is no longer fully heard, leading to persistent hunger and a struggle against the body's own internal regulatory mechanisms. It is a poignant example of how even the most elegantly designed systems can face challenges in environments vastly different from those in which they evolved. But leptin is not the only voice emanating from the adipose tissue. There is another equally vital and often inversely related messenger: adiponectin. If leptin is the accountant of energy stores, adiponectin is the silent guardian of metabolic health, a subtle protector against the ravages of insulin resistance and inflammation. Adiponectin is also produced by your fat cells, but unlike leptin, its levels tend to be higher in leaner individuals and lower in those with higher body fat. This inverse relationship hints at its protective role. When adiponectin circulates through your bloodstream, it performs a multitude of beneficial actions, acting like a molecular balm for your metabolic pathways. Its primary role is to enhance insulin sensitivity. Recall our journey into the pancreas and the meticulous dance of insulin, lowering blood glucose. Adiponectin makes the body's cells more responsive to insulin's call, ensuring that glucose can be efficiently taken up from the blood and utilized for energy or stored. It is like ensuring the locks on your cells are well oiled, allowing insulin, the key, to turn smoothly and open the gates for glucose. This protective action is crucial in preventing the onset and progression of type 2 diabetes. Beyond its influence on insulin, adiponectin also possesses powerful anti-inflammatory properties. Chronic low-grade inflammation is a silent enemy, a subtle fire smouldering within the body, implicated in countless chronic diseases, from heart disease to certain cancers. Adiponectin acts as a firefighter, dampening these inflammatory signals, contributing to overall cellular well-being. Furthermore, it appears to have a direct protective effect on the cardiovascular system, guarding against atherosclerosis, the hardening and narrowing of arteries. So while leptin speaks of satiety and energy balance, adiponectin whispers of metabolic harmony, insulin sensitivity, and cellular calm. Together, these adipokines reveal the profound and active role of adipose tissue, transforming our perception of fat from a passive storage unit into an intricate endocrine organ, deeply involved in the continuous conversation of health and disease. They remind us that within the quiet expanses of our bodies, even the most overlooked tissues are participating in the grand symphony, each note contributing to the overall composition of our well-being. And the narrative of the body's distributed endocrine wisdom continues. For the silent symphony is not confined merely to traditional glands or even to the adipocytes. It resonates throughout organs that we might primarily associate with other functions. Consider for a moment the vast, intricate landscape of your gastrointestinal tract. This winding, remarkable system, primarily known for digestion and nutrient absorption, is, in fact, a prolific endocrine factory, teeming with specialized cells that release a diverse array of hormones. Imagine the lining of your stomach and intestines, a delicate tapestry woven with millions of cells. Among them are tiny, specialized enteroendocrine cells, scattered like hidden gems, constantly monitoring the arrival of food, its composition, and its passage. These cells are the vigilant sentinels of your digestive journey, and their hormonal messages are crucial for orchestrating everything from the secretion of digestive enzymes to the profound sensations of hunger and satiety. Take, for instance, the hormone ghrelin. Picture it as the empty stomach's plea, the chemical messenger of hunger. Primarily produced in the stomach, ghrelin levels rise dramatically before meals, sending a direct signal to your hypothalamus, announcing the pantry is bare, it's time to seek nourishment. It is the tantalizing whisper that stimulates your appetite, preparing your body for the intake of food. As you eat, ghrelin levels fall, silencing the hunger signal. It is a beautiful, primal mechanism, ensuring we are driven to seek sustenance when needed. Then, as food enters your small intestine, another class of hormones begins to speak. Among the most well-known is glucagon-like peptide 1, GLP-1. This hormone is a messenger of satisfaction, a signal that food has arrived and digestion is underway. GLP-1 does several remarkable things. It stimulates the pancreas to release insulin, but only in the presence of glucose, thus preventing inappropriate insulin surges. It also slows down gastric emptying, making you feel fuller for longer, and directly signals the brain to enhance feelings of satiety. It is a sophisticated post-meal communicator, ensuring efficient nutrient processing and signaling to your brain that satisfaction is at hand. These are but two examples from a rich tapestry of gastrointestinal hormones: cholecystokinin, CCK, signaling the presence of fats and proteins; secretin prompting bicarbonate release; gastrin stimulating stomach acid, and many more. Each plays a precise role in the complex ballet of digestion, nutrient absorption, and the profound regulation of our energy balance. They are the chemical whispers that guide our interaction with the external world of food, translating its presence into internal commands that shape our metabolic state and our very sensations of hunger and fullness. As we conclude this exploration of the adipokines and the gut hormones, we are left with an even deeper appreciation for the boundless ingenuity of the body. The endocrine system, far from being confined to a few prominent glands, is a sprawling interconnected network where every tissue, every cell seems to possess the capacity to listen and to speak. From the silent vigil of fat cells to the bustling communication hubs of the gut, chemical messages flow ceaselessly, orchestrating a symphony of life that is far more intricate, far more ancient, and far more wondrous than we could ever consciously perceive. These hidden architects continue their work, ensuring that within the quiet depths of your being, balance is tirelessly pursued and the profound wisdom of life unfolds moment by silent moment.